I have just got off the bus in a very rainy, grey Mitcham. I'm making the 10-minute walk to Mitcham's closest railway station, Mitcham Eastfields. Yes, Mitcham Eastfields, the 2009 Railway Station of the Year. Also, the only railway station to be built in London between 1930 and 2008. 78 years. Mitcham Eastfields is located in South London, with its closest anchor besides Mitcham proper being Tooting Broadway or Morden, depending on the bus. On the London Rail and Tube map, it's buried within South London Railways, found here just above the tram line. First discussed back in 1930, then finally opened in 2008, Mitcham Eastfields is Mitcham's closest railway station. Mitcham is a bit like Clapham, sprawling all over the place. Here's the town centre. It's certainly not well connected. To the south, you've got Mitcham Tram, not a helpful stop for getting to London. Mitcham Junction is to the east, serving mostly parks, and then its closest station, Mitcham Eastfields. All the station catch the local population, but those travelling to Mitcham proper are likely to arrive by bus. I want to show you the station in construction on Google Maps, but I first got distracted by this lovely, no longer running train. I'm not a stock nerd. I'm hoping somebody in the comments will confirm what that is. Whatever it is beautiful. But here we are. You can see the station in construction. The station was built on time and to a very reasonable budget. Unfortunately, Street View cameras never got through the station before construction began, but we can use old satellite imagery to see that everything pre-station was very similar, just without that station in the middle. Here's a photo I found of the area before the station. You can see the level crossing arms up the end. Using historical maps, if we go way back, we can see the railway outlives almost all the buildings in the area. It's nothing but farmland. Visiting in person, I struggled to find any of these structures still standing. The area is mostly newer developments, likely seeing growth due to the ever-promised construction of a new station. Now the service pattern isn't overly interesting. Take a look at my Hackbridge video because it's identical. However, station numbers, very interesting. Figures for a fairly new station can't tell us too much, but you can see a sharp increase in passengers after opening. Early articles about the station suggest it did better than expected right from the get-go. This is evident when comparing it with a local station like Carshalton. It's a similar demographic, the same service pattern, but Eastfields sees more numbers, in this case 150,000 more per year. Here's Carshalton from the sky, very similar density to Eastfields. It's great to see the station has done so well. I'm sure for those Eastfields passengers it's hard to imagine a time where catching a train would require boarding a single-decker bus to Streatham or Tooting. You will have noticed by now that the station is a fairly unusual design. It's an extremely long station, with platforms that don't look at each other. The London-bound platform is to the north, and the Sutton-bound platform is to the south. This unusual design is all because of the level crossing sat in the middle. It is this central area where you access the facilities and both sides of the station. To better understand this design, let's look at a traditional station by a level crossing. Mortlake Station in southwest London doesn't spread across both sides of the road. An eastbound train would approach the station and close the road gates. It would then stop to collect passengers. Cars would sit and wait while the train doesn't move. Eventually, cars would watch the train accelerate away and then finally get over the crossing. Back to Eastfields, cars are only ever waiting for a train to pass. So let's watch as this train comes in. Those barriers should come up just after the train stops. Cars will then prepare to get moving again while the train is slowing down and about to board passengers. It is a simple yet effective design, with no downsides. So let's tour the facilities and see how it is in practice to have such a spread out situation. The station has a main side, which is the London-bound platform. There is no car park, so you walk right off the street. Of course, everything here is step-free and feels very accessible, even to the details of the handrails. As we walk up the ramp, let's pause to hope that lady makes her train. At the top of the ramp, you are presented with the ticket office, validators, ticket machines. It's all undercover, but it is hard to find protection from wind. Around the corner, you'll find the toilets. The platforms are modern, they're practical. You can shelter from the rain in this area, and they have a small covered waiting area further down the platform. So pretty basic facilities here down on the main platform. Let's have a look at how you get to the other platform and then what it's like on the other side. If walking from platform 1 to 2, you're faced with several options. You'll firstly need to cross the road. This is the only crossing spot around the station. You could opt to walk across the railway and just enter on the ground level. If the gates were down, you could take the footbridge. Finally, you could take this very unusual route to the lift. These signs are attached to housing estate bin stores and lead you into the estate to find the lift entrance. I've never seen anything like it. The station has really moved into its local surroundings. I've opted to cross the footbridge. It's unusually wide and a very familiar modern UK station design with the lift shafts. When you cross over, you are taken right onto platform 2. It's a mirror of 1, just without those main station facilities. There is a ticket machine, oyster validators, and seats dotted along. You've got the same cover, and if you walk along, you'll find that same underwhelming shelter. On a cold day, I would prefer to see a heated waiting room. Now the road around Mitcham Eastfields is quite complicated. You've got the level crossing, but then you've also got a busy roundabout. The roundabout sits right on the side of the station, creating quite a complex road setup. Today, as a pedestrian, the roundabout looks very pretty, surrounded by well-maintained gardens. Looking back, it's not always been a roundabout. Originally, likely before roads were cluttered with cars, it was just a simple crossing leading to a T-junction. With today's safety standards and road demands, this would be chaos. So, the roundabout was built. Nothing unusual, with each entry point giving way to cars in the circle. I love this photo of the new construction. It shows the fresh road and really highlights how oversized it was for the time. Other than that janky crossing being upgraded, it's remained mostly unchanged for a long time. Just a traditional roundabout with a railway right next door. I can see how this would be dangerous. It would be easy to get stuck on the railway, and gridlock would be inevitable with cars not crossing the railway getting stuck in the same traffic. It was all upgraded in 2018, with the new road allowing cars to quickly exit the tracks. You can see how a car would now have priority when crossing the tracks into the roundabout. Additionally, when the gates are down, cars not using the crossing have an easier time bypassing the roundabout. Here it is from the sky. You can follow how it would be very difficult for cars to now get stuck on the railway tracks. And from the right, you can follow how cars would now flow around the roundabout when the gates are closed. If you love roads, I'd suggest a deep dive on Google Maps here. It really is quite effective. And here it is in practice, with the orange van skipping the traffic that is waiting for the gates to open. And if you have waited at a level crossing in the UK, you will know that they are very cautious. So you could be waiting for a long time. Whilst this roundabout is great for the cars, it's a little bit tricky to cross when on foot. If the gates are closed, it's not too bad. Cars are stopped, so you can just jaywalk through the gap. However, if the cars were moving, you're going to struggle to cross. You need to walk over to the other side to use that island. If you're in a rush, as you often are at a train station, this would be frustrating and could be dangerous. There's a great example here on Street View. This lady is stuck, unprotected in the middle. I'm not nitpicking, but this could be better. There is space for infrastructure here, so I wonder why they didn't build it. And last but not least, let's have a look at what's in the local area of Mitcham Eastfields. Well, very little. Besides kebab, chicken and off-licence shops, the area is residential and schools. There is Streatham Cemetery quite close, though if you actually want to visit, you'll need to take quite a walk to get around to the gates. If you BMX, there is a dedicated track just up the road from the station. Now that is unusual. And that's it. Mitcham Eastfields. Please, before you go, hit that subscriber button. I am brand new, so it would be really helpful. I'm hoping to make some more videos. Next up, I think, will be on the DLR. Thanks for watching.